Have you ever felt like there's a hidden code running in the background of reality? You know, something that connects our deepest spiritual struggles with the fundamental laws of the universe? Well, what if I told you the struggles of the soul and the rules of quantum physics are actually describing the exact same algorithm? Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start right here, in one of the most painfully human moments in the entire Quran. This is Maryam at her absolute limit, in total despair. I mean, it sounds like the end, right? A complete system crash. But what if it's not? What if that moment of unbearable pressure is really the first step in a powerful, universal process? Like a cosmic algorithm for purification that's literally woven into the fabric of reality. In this explainer, we are going to decode that algorithm. So it turns out there's this fundamental pattern, a kind of three-step loop that shows up over and over again. It describes how truth survives a trial. And you see it everywhere, from the human soul all the way to how stars are born. Here's the loop. It all kicks off with intense pressure. Think Miriam's pain. That pressure builds until it forces a confession. And I don't just mean saying words. I mean a total collapse of the ego, a moment of brutal honesty where all the pretenses just fall away. And out of that collapse, something new emerges. The only thing left standing is the indestructible truth. Now, this is where it gets really mind-bending. This spiritual blueprint, it has a stunning parallel in the world of physics. To really see it, we have to zoom way, way down to the quantum level. Welcome to the weird and wonderful world of quantum mechanics, because it's here that we find an almost perfect mirror of the spiritual process. We're about to see how spiritual states like truth and falsehood have direct physical counterparts. So check this out. A state of falsehood, someone pretending to be something they're not, is fundamentally unstable. It's a lot like a quantum state called superposition. In the quantum world, a particle can exist in multiple states all at once. Imagine a coin spinning in the air before it lands. It's both heads and tails at the same time. That cloud of possibilities, that's an unstable reality, just like falsehood. And this analogy just maps the whole algorithm perfectly. That spiritual pressure, that's just like putting thermodynamic stress on a system. You're adding energy, you're heating things up, you're forcing it out of its comfort zone. And the confession? That's the exact equivalent of taking a measurement in quantum physics. The moment you observe the system, you force that spinning coin to land. It has to pick one definite state. We call that wave function collapse. The cloud of possibilities just collapses into a single reality. So what happens to the falsehood? It vanishes. It's a process called decoherence. The unstable, noisy claim, it just can't hold its structure under pressure. It fades away. Okay, but that brings up a huge question, right? If all this pressure can make falsehood collapse, what's to stop it from destroying the truth, too? Why is truth, in this model, totally indestructible? Well, the answer is hiding in one of the most basic laws of the universe. It's called the no-hiding theorem. It's basically a part of a bigger law, the conservation of information. And the core idea is shockingly simple. True information can be moved around, it can be transformed, but it can never, ever be deleted from reality. It's like a message written in invisible ink. You might not see it, but the information is still there, just waiting for the right conditions to show up. So let's see how this builds out. You can absolutely destroy the particle, the physical body, the vessel made of clay. But you cannot destroy its wave function. That's the underlying information, the word. And in this framework, ʿīsā or Jesus is like pure information. You can smash a mirror to pieces, sure, but you can't destroy the principle of reflection. As long as light exists, that information survives. Truth, as pure information, is always conserved. Okay, so we've seen this algorithm in the soul and deep inside the quantum realm. But guess what? It's also happening all around us, in the big, visible world. It's a universal law of transformation. Just think about a caterpillar. I mean, to become a butterfly, it seals itself in a chrysalis and literally dissolves. It comes under so much pressure that it turns into this goopy soup. It's a total collapse, a confession that its old identity just doesn't work anymore. It looks exactly like death. But from that collapse, a higher truth, the butterfly, emerges and takes flight. Pressure, collapse, emergence. There it is again. And we see the exact same thing on a cosmic scale. You have these massive, cold clouds of gas and dust that start to collapse under their own gravity. The pressure becomes absolutely immense, forcing an inward collapse so intense that it ignites a nuclear furnace. And out of that collapse, a star is born, a brand new source of light in the darkness. The same pattern, just written across the heavens. So when you put it all together, the spiritual, the quantum, and the natural, we end up with a pretty clear final equation. This whole purification algorithm has a binary output. There are only two possible outcomes, and it all depends on how you respond to the pressure. And this table lays it out perfectly. The input is the nafs, which you can think of as the self or the ego. It's this mixed state of truth and falsehood. Now, when pressure gets applied, it can go one of two ways. If the ego responds with pride, if it resists the pressure, it shatters. It just explodes outward into chaos and disorder, what physics calls entropy. It basically becomes ash. But if the ego responds with submission, if it yields to the pressure, it implodes. It collapses inward, confesses its true state, and gets purified. It ascends, becoming pure light. So the takeaway here is both profound and actually really simple. Entropy, that force of decay in the universe, will always, always destroy unstable structures. And that's exactly what falsehood is. But pure information, the essence of truth, it's conserved. It can't be unwritten from the cosmos. And that leaves us with this one final, powerful image to think about. Pharaoh is the rigid particle, the ego, that refuses to bend, and so it shatters under the pressure of reality. But ʿīsā is the pure wave of information, the truth that can't be contained in a physical form, and in the end, transcends it completely. It's a cosmic algorithm, playing out in every single soul, in every single moment.